All right, so some news happening as Haason Reddick is now a member of the New York Jets. A little bit late on the draw here of this video, sorry about that. But yeah, about an hour ago, it was announced that he has been traded to the Jets. The compensation is a conditional third. It could become a second if Reddick has 67.5% play time. Weird how that's what they landed on, but that 67.5% play time and has 10 sacks. He would need both for it to be a second. So actually seems more likely than not that it would end up being a third because, 10 sacks is a lot of sacks for a player to get. He has gotten 10 sacks each out of the last 4 seasons, but also, 67% of the play time. Again, he's actually done that pretty consistently, so maybe I shouldn't say it's more likely than not, but for an edge rusher, you're not out there every snap, so that's kind of why it's a little bit maybe lower than you would typically expect for a play time based, condition like that. That being said, I don't know. If it's a second round pick for that kind of production, you'll certainly take it if you are the Jets, who, they drafted an edge rusher last year, didn't really give them the production they wanted to. So going out and getting a Bryce Huff replacement at the very least, and possibly someone who could even do more than that, makes sense. And it's kind of interesting that essentially Bryce Huff and Reddick just trade teams here. Huff was a Jet that now goes to the Eagles. Now Reddick, an Eagle that goes to the Jets. Reddick's a very good player. I brought up that he's had 10 sacks each of the last 4 seasons. Kind of the history of him is his first 3 years in the NFL. He was drafted, but then the Cardinals tried to make him an outside linebacker, and he, wasn't great in that role. They kind of finally put him back to edge rusher, where he had 12 and a half sacks and, then had 11 sacks with Carolina, goes to Philadelphia, has his career high 16 sacks, and still does very good last year. If you look at more advanced statistics, you would see that he still is, since he became a full-time edge rusher, still very good advanced stats. And the 1 year that he had his best year advanced stats-wise was 2022. So it wasn't really an outlier year in terms of he got lucky with sacks. It was more just an outlier year if he just was weirdly better that year. So not exactly sure what happened there. Here's why it's not more than that. Because you might think, hey, number 1 edge rusher, why only a conditional second round pick for a team that, Jets could be picking late in the second round if things go well for them? Well, I think a big part of why is because apparently it's, Reddick, as it stands right now, is on the last year of a deal, which is currently a $21 million cap hit. Apparently, part of the condition here is that Reddick is going to get a new contract. I think that's maybe why he demanded a trade, is he wanted to get extension here, as this might be, hey, when you're 30, getting an extension now, you might get more money than you would when you're 31. Just an extra year. That's kind of how this stuff works. But for the Jets, hey, you're trying to win right now. Sure, just, giving him a long-term deal could hurt you down the road. That's certainly a possibility. But, again, look at Tampa Bay, right? Last year, some of those contracts hurt them. They weren't complaining because they won a Super Bowl. That's what the Jets are trying to do. That's the model they're trying to follow. And I think it makes some sense. So, yeah, really good player here. Again, you do kind of sometimes wonder if some of these other teams, hey, some of these teams gave $15 million to an edge rusher that isn't that great. I mean, maybe just get a guy like Reddick, but he might be worth more than just the $20 million he's owed. Maybe you try to just trade for him and say play on 1 year, but I don't think so. I think they're going to try and see if they can, get a long-term deal. So, yeah, Jets continue to stay busy. They got Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith, the 2 tackles, getting edge rusher and Reddick when they didn't really need one. They had depth there, but they get an edge rusher and then Mike Williams added as well. Really good stuff here by the Jets. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.